Welcome back to SBR Forum Videos. We learned a lot in week number 2 of the NFL preseason. Some good, some bad. We'll start with the bad, and that's just don't trust the preseason. We talked about a little bit less than a week ago, actually, about whether or not to hold suit and just wait until this before the start of week 1 to place any bets and not worry about it right now. And we should have taken that advice because the two teams have already lost their best receivers in just 1 week of the preseason, as Jordy Nelson has gone down with a torn ACL, and Kelvin Benjamin is also down for the season with the same injury. This is devastating to both of these teams, more so the Panthers, but definitely to the Packers as well. And even though the Packers' future odds haven't moved because of it, there are some odds that are shaping up just a little bit because of the injury. So right now, I would say lay off any week 1 preseason or anyone week 1 regular season betting right now during the preseason, because it's probably a little bit more volatility than you're going to want to look at here. We've also learned that the Philadelphia Eagles might be for real, and we might need to start taking them a little bit more seriously here, as their future odds have been really moving upward here recently over the last 24 hours, from 25 to 20 to 1 in some instances. Still pretty good value. Some books all the way up to 16 to 1 to win the Super Bowl right now. The Philadelphia Eagles, after scoring 76 points in the first 2 weeks of the preseason, Philadelphia might be a team we need to keep our eye on here in the NFC, as a team that could potentially now, with the Jordy Nelson injury, with the Cowboys probably down just a little bit this season, you have to look at the Philadelphia Eagles as potentially good long shot value in the NFC. Also learned that Johnny Manziel may be a halfway decent quarterback, but we're still not sure yet, because Mr. McCown has been even worse, and really did not show up here in week number 2 of the preseason. I think that quarterback battle in Cleveland might be a little bit hotter than what we suspected here earlier on in the preseason and into training camp. So don't sleep on Johnny Manziel potentially starting some games early on in the season here for the Cleveland Browns. And lastly, I've spoken on this a lot, but I'm going to keep pounding this one until the season starts, and probably even past that. The Minnesota Vikings are for real. Charles Johnson may be a breakout candidate. Teddy Bridgewater could be potentially leading this team to a wild card spot, and even now with the Packers' Jordy Nelson injury, who knows? I think the sky's the limit for Minnesota this season. As long as their defense under Zimmer can hold up, I think this is a really good team, and I think their strengths lie in their run game now with Adrian Peterson and having a very mobile, very good quarterback with some deadly weapons down the field. So do not sleep on the Minnesota Vikings as well. On not probably their future odds, I'm definitely thinking they're going to be a really solid ATS value, and we've already seen even in their week 1 odds move about 4 or 5 points since they opened in favor of the Minnesota Vikings. So that'll do it for the NFL week 2 of the preseason. I'll keep you up updated on what's happening next week as well as we get going again here earlier in the week. But until then, for SBR Forum Videos, I'm Jordan Sharp.